Now, morning everyone. Yeah, about 10% of us have dyslexia and go on to do great things. This survey says just 3%, however, of us view it positively. Now, despite people with dyslexia having excellent skills like reasoning, visualising and communicating, it can be a time where they struggle perhaps at school and in the workplace. Well, businessman and former Dragon Theo Paphitas explains how it helped his career.
One thing I learned at school through my dyslexia was the ability to do workarounds. I love problems. Problem solving is my middle name. So when I did actually get a chance to be in a stable job, the thing that stood out in the first instance was the fact that I could sell, but secondly, I could deal with problems. Because all through my life, I've had to work out how to do something that somebody else could do just like that. I'd have to do it in a really long-winded way. I'd get there eventually, incredibly slowly, but I'd find a way of doing it, not to fail.
And there's so many people like Theo who've done brilliant from it. Albert Einstein, Steve Jobs, Richard Branson, to name a few, and Kit Griggs, who's the founder and CEO of Made by Dyslexia, the charity. Thanks for joining us. Can you just explain to people what exactly it is?
So dyslexic people have a very slightly different wiring in their brains, and that means that we process information differently. So with that comes this incredible pattern of strengths, like being able to simplify things and connecting things and emotional intelligence, a whole range of things. But it also causes a few challenges, particularly with traditional learning and traditional benchmarking, like psychometric tests can be a struggle and exams at school can be a struggle.
Yes, because we have had so many messages from people who have said, Tony, I wonder how differently things would have been for me if it had been spotted before my GCSEs. Russell saying, I'm dyslexic, I completely agree with Theo, don't make out we cannot achieve academically, we can, it's just very hard, and he's now a doctor and a professor. And that's the key here, is it's about a different way of learning, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about identifying dyslexia early, recognising that there are this pattern of strength and challenges and making sure that you support each equally. Dyslexics can do really well in academic subjects, but they need to have some support to get through it.
Why has there been such negativity about it then? Is it because of the traditional academic mould that we've all kind of grown up in and that not supporting it?
I think it's a couple of things. I think that there's this tendency to try and hide it because there's the shame associated with maybe not being able to spell well or reading slowly. I mean, incredibly, 73% of people, of dyslexic people, hide their dyslexia from their employees. And what this report is saying is that we need to be identifying these people and really recognising what they're good at, not maybe humiliating them or making fun of what they're not so good at.
So by identifying them, then what else can employers do to actually support them in the workplace?
So it's about understanding their strengths and making sure that they work towards their strengths and then giving them help with the things that they struggle with. I mean, technology is a fantastic tool for dyslexic people. It helps with almost all of the things that we struggle with. So it really is shifting that focus onto the things that we're good at and giving us the recognition and letting us use those.
Can you give us some examples, practical examples of what that might look like?
Well, some examples of how you can really use that in the workplace. There's the rise of the chief storyteller, which is the role that companies like Google and Microsoft are looking for. And what a chief storyteller will do is they actually make sense of lots and lots of complex information to give a very simple message. So that's one of the roles that are very prevalent in the future.
Yeah, so it's about the kind of verbal storytelling just as much as it is about the written, and that can make a big difference to people. Yeah, well, thank you very much for coming in to talk to us about that. Thank you for all the messages we've had as well. Do keep them coming in. It's always good to read them. And that's it for me for now.
Very interesting. Thank you very much, Steph. See you later.